Shut up and sit down.
Hello guys, this is Andy from Big Mokes Workshop and Painting Studio, and today we're doing our latest episode of the White Dwarf First Look. Obviously this is July's, and hot on the heels of Age of Sigmar big releases, as you can expect. I should imagine that this is going to be largely Age of Sigmar type stuff, but no doubt there'll be other things in there like Imperial Knights, etc. Yeah, that's never going to happen. So, obviously we've got the big release of Soul Wars, which was very recently, last weekend if I remember correctly. And obviously it's all about Order and Death, which are the main focus of Soul Wars. Got a few interesting photos on the front in the context. Obviously you've got the new Spirit dudes from the ARCHAON'S range, some heavy metal masterclasses are going to be in here as well, as you'd hope to see, and we're going to, I dare say there will be a battle report. There's also some new rules for Warhammer Quest for those guys of you who play that. And we're getting back into the Age of Sigmar stuff, talking about the new Soul Wars release, which is between STORMCAST Eternals and Ghostly Undead. And as such, as the STORMCAST Eternals have just been revamped. They haven't been changed fundamentally. You've got some more nice toys though, and also they have a new battle tome or codex or whatever you want to use. The faction has also got their own malign sorcery spells, which look quite interesting. As the big flying orc mouth thing was pretty cool. Now you've got looks like a comet what have been slammed into the floor and some kind of whirlwind of hammers. Okay, cool. Right, and these are new easy to build kits, which are all based on the STORMCAST Eternal. So you've got your new repeater bolt thrower, a easy to build Asteria Soulblight Lord Arcanum on some kind of scaled lion. I'm sure you guys who play Age of Sigmar will know exactly what I mean by that, but not a STORMCAST Eternal player or Age of Sigmar for that matter, so I'm not quite sure what it is. The STORMCAST Eternal Lord Exorcist is available on the 7th, and he comes in at £20 as a single fig blister. Some very interesting new units in there in this STORMCAST Eternals. You've got open-faced STORMCAST guys and girls, which really starting to expand that range, make them look quite interesting. Also, the Night Army has got a new battle tome as well, and some very cool new spell effects like a giant scythe and a treasure chest full of skulls, what are sort of ghostly and spectral. Interesting. Both factions have also got a new set of dice, and the regular battle tomes for both the STORMCAST and Nighthorn are, I believe, £25 for each one. Yeah, £25 each, so a standard sort of price what we expect to see from GW. And a little bit more on Shadespire. There's all constantly dropping more stuff out for that, keeping the decks changing and evolving. We've got a Shattered City board pack, which is £15 for some new board sections. Some leader cards, I'm not quite sure what they are. They're a tenner. And obviously you've got the funky card sleeves, which are £6 for a set. Ooh, Blood Bowl. Nice to see some Blood Bowl in here. And the Blood Bowl Dark Elf team has got a nice page spread with the associated new battle maps and dugouts, etc. Very, very nice looking team. Kept this sort of the previous edition sort of feel to them. I do quite like them, although personally, as a personal thing, I prefer the Pro Elf Blood Bowl team to this style Dark Elves, but they are quite cool. The team itself is £20. They come out. All this comes out on the 14th of July. The Spike Journal Dark Elves, £8. Dugouts, £24. Which includes the pitch as well. The team deck is £15 and the dice is £7. You got a full set there available to you. Ooh, a nice little leak of Constantine Valdor in the bottom right hand corner. He's going to be in Inferno, and I dare say he is tasty. But what would you expect from Custodes? So Custodes are getting some more love from Forge World for their Heresy range, and going to be interesting to see some more stuff on there. So, licensed games, Age of Sigmar Champions is going strong. Got a couple of demo cards there in the bottom corner here. And Total War Warhammer 2 has got some DLC. Looks like you've got some additional elves to add to your armies. Everqueen Ilariel and Crone Hellebron, amongst other things in there, like the Handmaidens, etc. And there is a new, is it a board game? Not quite sure. Where you get to be a troll slayer of some kind. That's it. It's a CCG, and you get to be some kind of troll slayer, roaming about, cracking stuff, and not worrying about taking names because you're trying to die. And World of Tanks has got some more Imperial Guard tanks in there, just to keep things fresh and interesting for us, for those of you who play World of Tanks. So, obviously onto the Black Library stuff, and there are some very interesting looking books. The Horusian Wars Incarnation, which looks like it's some kind of inquisitorial theme. Audio drama Hunger. So it's Flesh Tearers and Tyranids in an audio book, obviously based around Gabriel Seth, who is, as everyone knows, a complete badass.
That might be an interesting book.
Yep. Who's hungrier, Seth or the Nids? I ain't quite sure.
Place your bets now.
Yeah, place your bets now. And obviously you've got your it looks like a special edition version of Lord of Drakes, which is about Vulcan. And a Horus Heresy book of Jagati Khan, which will shed a bit more light onto the Khan, as he's not well represented yet in the Horus Heresy. Oh, back in time again, and we are revisiting October 2012. So I don't feel quite so old this month. Looking back at some of the things what were released back then, obviously centre page were the Centurions what came out, and some nice little kit bashing hints and tips. Not a White Dwarf I've read that one, but it's still kind of cool to see. Okie dokie. So, how do you get started with a Adeptus Mechanicus army? This is exactly what to do if you want to look into that. Gives you information about your little robot-y things. So, bit of a designer's notes about the new Nighthawk range. I can't fault GW on these figs, they are cool as hell. The ghostly, the way the movement in these ghosts really stands out is beautiful. They look cool.
Didn't you want to do a ghost tutorial at some point?
I did want to do a ghost tutorial, then I realised I can't paint ghosts.
I'll have a crack.
You heard it here first, Dodge is painting something.
Screw you, Andy.
So, the Regents of Nagash, Lady Olinda, Mortarch of Grief, which is a ghost of a lady in white. Looks like some kind of bridal sort of outfit she's wearing with a full veil. Really interesting looking fig, that. Very cool. Loads of interesting little details on it as well, like the I've forgotten what they're called. You'll have to point that out to me because I can't remember. The Sands of Time looking thing. Like roses and that. Looks like she's just died on the way to getting married. Really interesting. And Kurdos Valentian, the Craven King, on a flying throne. Looks like a Nazgul, like a Witch King or something, sitting on a throne with a big ass mace. He's cool. I like him. Bit more information about the designing process on the undead guys, and a bit more on the same. They do have some lovely looking figures. I can't fault AOS enough for the beautiful models. They really are knocking them out of the park these days. Adding such things as a bodice to a banshee really makes the female form stand out, even on a ghostly dead creature. Nice touch. Ooh, a new black coach as well. I like that. It really does look like it's moving. That is really cool. It's very, very dynamic. That is that figure. That would be very, very cool. I do like that. Some adverts, and Heavy Metal Masterclass is an Imperial Knight, and they are talking about applying battle damage, which is something I'm going to read because I do a lot of battle damage on my stuff, although I tend to do a hell of a lot more than they do. And obviously you've got the various different types of battle damage on different armours. Nice hints and tips on the different colours and what to work. So you've got a battle report. It is 2 knight houses, so knights versus knights. Yeah. So we've got House Griffith versus House Tyrannus. Big and Stompy versus Big and Stompy. That would be an entertaining battle, I should imagine. So we'll skip past that. They're using a really nice looking board, as always. Let's skip to the end because we don't want to see the results. And now we've got the Winners' Challenge of Golden Demon. This is a finale, I believe. And there are some absolute stonking pieces of kit on here. You can only admire the amount of effort what's gone into the gone into the design and the build of these kits. So absolutely stunning. And we have a Undead Giant, which is the overall winner, with a necromancer hanging around at the side of him, keeping him alive ish. So Illuminations, talking about old artwork, some classic artwork what the guys from way back will recognise. That one was featured quite heavily in 2nd edition, if I remember correctly. Happens to be John Blanche. I should have realised. I'm just looking at the picture. And you've got some of the more recent stuff as well. There's some the Nurgle artwork always looks really cool. Very, very interesting artwork style. That one from the top looks like it's from the. It's a cover art for Lost and Damned, which is a 30-odd-year-old book. Very, very cool artwork from back then. Really interesting style of art. Now you've got a very interesting piece of artwork here of a dagger juggler wearing a Plague Doctor mask. I don't recognise that from anywhere. It does look like it was in. It does say it was in the Mordheim rulebook from 1999. Very, very interesting. Really weird. The thing about the Mordheim rulebook was there was if I remember correctly, there was a fish on every page somewhere.
I remember hearing that.
Really, really weird. Very strange book, although very cool. So, someone's going to be talking about an army and how they get their army built and painted up to a decent standard. And he's painting the Iron Ravens, which are very simple but quite nice colour scheme of blue and silver. Very cool looking army. I like it. And obviously you've got you can't have a collecting and painting tutorial and lecture without factoring in Imperial Guard. And here we have a tank company. Cadian tank company, the Jungle Rats. Really, really striking insofar as there are loads of tanks, which is good because tanks are cool. And another guy talking about ARCHAON'S legions. That is a bloody huge army. And I dare say you probably had to rebase that from being square to round. That looks like it's been collected over a long time. I wouldn't fancy rebasing all that. And there's the big man himself, ARCHAON, taking centre stage on his big ass chimera thing. And now we're getting to the Tale of Four Warlords with some new additions. It looks like he's got himself the Malign Sorcery pack with the, well, normally painted in sort of deserty fire colours, now it's painted in ice, sort of burning head thing. The Magotkin got the same as reinforcements, plus loads and loads of Nurglings and, you know, your typical sort of Nurgly things. The Daughters of Cain-ish, with Marathi and their associated spells, flying daggers, unpleasant, and a giant axe. I'm down with axes. That's cool. And obviously, you can't. The final one is always it's always the same for guys. So you've got your Legions of Nagash with his death spells and a purple skull. So it looks like they're having a big old battle, four-way battle. every man for themselves on a nice big table. Been a long time since I played a multiplayer game like that. Definitely need to get one arranged at some point. I've got to say, it was a lot of fun. Some more Imperial Guard stuff now. John Blanche doing his thing of being weird. Can't go wrong with that. Some very cool sort of artwork. Little regimental standard type things. Only you can purge and clean. Always be on alert for mutations. Warhammer Quest missions and characters. So just so you've got some new rules for the guys who you could want to play from the new range. And now we got a parade ground. As always, usually somebody else's figures. Just showing off what some of the other armies and styles can look like. Paint splatter this month is a ghosty dude using the new technical paints, which is something I need to pick up because I've not tried them out yet. Them ghostly effects look really cool, so I want to try them out. And now on to the adverts and some readers' models at the end. Some very, very cool stuff. Loving the Russ. I do really like that Lehman Russ. It's a lovely figure as well. So if you've got your models into White Dwarf this month, congratulations. To get it in there, you've clearly done something impressive. I've not had a chance to have a look at them properly. Obviously, this is my first look through the White Dwarf. We're talking about the end of the stuff where we're just talking about what's going off at the end of the White Dwarf, adverts for next month, etc. So there we are. That is this month's White Dwarf. Again, it's largely Age of Sigmar, which you'd expect, having Soul Wars recently been released. I dare say over the next couple of months we're going to start seeing some 40k stuff again, as we have some Space Wolves, which are going to come way before Orcs, because that'll amuse me a hell of a lot. So if you want to see more of what we're doing, please hit like and that little bell button at the corner to get the notifications. Hit subscribe, share with your friends, and we shall catch you in the next one, guys. Take care and have a good day. Bye bye.